The answers could come in with their many reasons for just doing so, and they could come in their variant as well. Why is the patriotism, you may ask? It is also in view of the growing concern in terms of sentiments or resentment against made in Nigeria goods by Nigerians and the impact it has on our economy. That is the very reason why government is still on that path to come up with policies from time to time that will change this narrative. There are various institutions whose programs are designed to promote local manufacturing and also encourage them. But what happens after such manufacturers are done with delivering their goods? Some have blamed the lack of interest in buying made in Nigeria goods to aspects of branding, poor packaging, and low quality. Now, how can Nigerians be made to patronize or buy into these made in Nigeria products? Welcome to Nigeria Today. My name is Blessing Abu. In the studio to discuss promoting made in Nigeria products, I'd like to welcome the President, National Association of Nigerian Traders, Ken Okoa, to the program.
Thank you very much.
Fully made in Nigeria man.
Correct.
I trust. Now, joining him on set, I'd like to welcome Olubukola George. She is a manager with Classic Trade Fair. They manufacture some Nigerian goods in the different way. We get to find out what exactly they do and how they have improve in what they're doing to actually encourage you to patronize them. Welcome to the program,
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, let's start off on a very simple note. It could be said, we might assume we know everything about made in Nigeria. Perhaps it's from the beginning to the end point, or sometimes we have to adapt. President, National Association of Nigerian Traders, tell us exactly, when we're talking about made in Nigerian products, goods, services, what exactly are we dealing with here?
Well, precisely, we're looking at those products, manufacturers, or services that are emanating or originating from our own soil. Mm-hmm. And of course, in trade parlance, there's a rule within the WTO, permit me to mention that, which we call rules of origin, which classifies where a product is made or is coming from. And then sometimes it has to do with the value added to that particular product or good. And within that concept, it also provides for some percentage of outside raw material or input that would be added to that particular product. Okay. To make it, become wholly made in country.
Okay. Okay, so before I get to her, when we now look at those aspects, okay, for perhaps we have some raw materials here available and we need to still source some outside. Can such still be categorized in that manner? Because
oh yes. For instance, in some of the international agreements, you have for instance, the ETLS, Equal Trade Liberation Scheme, including the Economic Partnership Agreement that we are negotiating, including the AFCFTA that we are negotiating, that is coming into place now, that Nigeria has signed on to. There is a component, a rule called these rules of origin, that it prescribes the level of percentage of value addition that could come into that.
So when we're looking at the percentage now, where
we're looking at that, some would prescribe 40%, some 30, some 20, some 60. That's the way it is. But a major chunk of that particular product must be originating from, materials or raw materials coming from the
country. Okay, before we branch out into other areas where we need to make into consideration, let's bring in Olubukola. Okay. Made in Nigeria goods, services, as he has explained. Okay. What's your take on how much patronage we have given this?
Made in Nigeria goods, I can say it's the patronage of made in Nigeria goods are a little bit low here in Nigeria, because they are used to imported goods. So most people prefer to go for imported goods than made in Nigeria goods, and that is affecting the business. Because when you bring material, the raw material, couple it together and make a whole like a dress, they will be like, ah, is it imported good? Is it when you say Nigeria good, they think is inferior compared to what is being made outside of the country.
Okay, so inferiority has always been an issue.
Yes, yes.
Well, I know you're in the line of clothing.
Yes.
Exactly. So how has that really affected what you do in attracting Nigeria?
Well, it has affected in one way or the other. Like when we buy goods, when we buy it raw material to sew, like I said earlier, when people see it and compare it to what they buy from outside the country, they feel like, no, this is inferior, we'll go for the imported one. And while our homemade in Nigeria goods here, like what I'm wearing now, it's been, I can say it's from 2017, I've made this and it has been really good on me.
Okay.
Anytime I wear it and I step out, people admire it.
But is the fabric itself made in Nigeria?
Well, we buy the fabrics.
Okay, so that alludes to some of the things that you could get some other materials from outside
the country and couple it together to make something here in Nigeria.
Okay, that's in terms of clothing. So,
Yes.
but of course, there are other goods and services. We have leather materials, which at least our brothers in the Southeast are actually doing very well, turning out shoes, turning out bags, and some other products, as well as other services you've mentioned, Selkoa. Now, the level to which Nigerians are actually resenting some, like she already made mention, what other factors could be responsible for us not meeting up in actually attracting the larger number of Nigerians to patronize our goods?
I think beyond the issue of quality that has been overflowed, I believe that patronage should start from the government. You know, when a government provides for herself a tacit policy of patronizing her own producers, then the citizens automatically keys in. Look at, for instance, we have vehicle manufacturers today in Nigeria, in essence. And I cannot believe a state government, a national assembly, a federal government agency or parastatal going outside to look for
Vehicles.
when we have a manufacturer here that you can patronize, and then that patronage generates employment. And we're talking about poverty reduction.
But come to think of it, sometimes last year, I think that should be about February or so, there was the Executive Order 5 from the President stating that governments must patronize. Whatever happened to that? Because even the National Assembly later followed it up saying, okay, we should actually implement this.
Again, this is where I feel we should begin to implement stricto sensu our policies. Now, take a look at another option. We're talking about, you know, garments and fabrics, you know.
Yes.
Can you consider the number of school children that we have in this country? If there is a tacit policy that you cannot, that no school should get uniforms for children outside this country, there is no way any of the factories that are in clothing or textiles will die. Take a look at the number of soldiers. Take a look at the army, the navy, the paramilitary. And you take a decision that no uniform should be coming from outside. No boot should come from outside.
Sometimes the boots, the Nigerian army actually patronize.
Fantastic.
The boots.
I can tell you that the number of jobs that created in Aba was boom. And of course, it's that patronage that can now engineer other people, the manufacturers, to go and seek for industrial machines that can, talk about this large production that we are talking about. If you don't patronize them, how would they have the capacity to now produce or to get those industrial capacity, in place. That's the point we're making. So I think that step comes from government. For instance, again, we talk about rice, which people have never spoken about, the border closure. If there is a tacit policy to say that every rice consumed within the government circle must be local rice. At the festive period, all state governments that are always, giving out rice to staff and all of that should patronize Nigeria. Come on. I mean, we shouldn't be talking about all of this.
Yes, when we get back from this break, because we'll go on a break shortly, we've seen the massive support, especially in the entertainment industry.
Correct.
Made in Nigerian music. Everyone, beautiful, even those outside the shows look forward to having their own copy of Nigerian music. Yes. So why is that support so much in that particular industry, and the apathy is on this other side for other goods, agriculture, like we've already mentioned, some other service industry. So when we return, perhaps you'd like to share with us maybe your own favorite Nigerian music, and perhaps you want to see how you can clothe some of the artists as well. Okay. You're watching Nigeria Today, and we're taking a look at promoting the Nigerian products, services wherever you may find them, at least to create a job opportunity for someone has already been talked about. What more? We'll get to find out after this break. As we go to the streets, yes, there are reactions from Nigerians that we spoke with earlier in the day, and this is put together by Hakim Dairo.
You see, if that roadside man who is manufacturing shoe is mobilized with the necessary tools that he can use to provide quality shoes, my brother, believe me, it will serve you better than the so-called imported shoes we are buying. I'm happy the government of Nigeria blocked closed border for Benin Republic. Most of the shoes, we patronized them before. Within a tickle of an eye, the shoe has pulled. Enter water, you have to look for Nigerian shoemaker again to repair it. If you know Nigerian shoemaker can repair your shoe for you, why going out there? So the watchword is government attention. Government should give them the necessary attention, the cash they needed. Once that is done, monitoring should follow.
I think our Nigerian goods should also improve in terms of quality.
By buying all these made in Nigerian goods, it creates employment for everybody. Yes, we should patronize our products. From there, anybody producing anything, at least we become an expert.
Help people, all these countries that have already developed, you understand? So if we want our own country to be like them, I think we should encourage people and patronize our country.
There's a policy they will put in place. They squeeze people. You can see how everything has gone across the closure of border. So government must look at how they look at it with human face for people to survive. It is only when people survive the policy is good.
There are so many things Nigeria can do to make sure that made in Nigerian goods are patronized. We know our taste. We know the type of place we are living. We know the terrain. We know the atmosphere. Then, what is left for us is the enabling environment. Government should provide the enabling environment, mobilize them financially, then you see it working.
Well, my smile is saying so much. That means right there in the studio. Now, is this word? Enabling environment. Enabling environment. The environment is there and is enabled for us to actually look into this. What are we doing to actually bring up more to address this issue of capital flight and some other means that is taking the money outside? See, I have my guest in the studio. President, National Association of Nigerian Traders, and also Olubukola George. She's a manager with Classic Trade Fair. Okay, let's get back to your own area. Okay. Fabric, garments, clothing, and all of that. This is one area too, Nigeria, that they've moved in their leaps and bounds. Of course, our designers are all over making fantastic designs.
Yes.
And sometimes you hear even people abroad trying to, okay, please make such designs that we're seeing back home and bring home. But then you still have that little resentment still in having the right attitude for people to make their patronage out for you. What other concerns are there for you in this line of business? What other concerns are you raising for government to see? At least to encourage the patronage.
Yeah, to encourage the patronage. Like he said earlier, if we have a good textile company in Nigeria producing all these fabrics and material, as in, we will not have issues on heat. Most especially all these in Aba. People buy from Aba, come to various parts of the country, and if the government can enable this textile company and make it to work out, we can like buy the goods and buy the raw material, make something better with it.
But you do have all like 60 to 70% of raw materials that you need, or do you still have to source from outside?
No, we have it here in Nigeria. But some of it are sourced from like outside the country.
Okay.
Like when we go buy, they are sorted outside the country.
So what percentage will you say?
I can say the one that is sorted outside the country is like 40%.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
But since the closure of the border is affecting a little.
That means to say bringing goods into the country.
Yeah, that means to bring it, but it's just a little bit expensive than ever before.
Okay. While we're looking at that area, some other areas, of course, there have been support, like I pointed out when at the start of this program, different products from different institutions, let's say from central bank and some other government agencies are there also to actually help. But has this in any way been effective for most manufacturers and other business entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think I must say that the openings, the facilities and instruments created by the Central Bank of Nigeria is really commendable. I mean, they're all commendable. And those are steps that shows a government that really wants to look inwards. The starting point for me would have been to redesign our trade policy so that we have an inward-looking trade policy that is not import-dependent, but export-oriented. Now, if you do that, what you are going to get out of that is that people will now begin to look inwards, even in services. Take a look at your hair.
Made in
Nigeria.
Fully done in Nigeria.
I mean, I was in an aircraft coming from Ethiopia, and I was listening to two Nigerian ladies coming from Dubai, and we were talking about $500 hair that they bought. I wanted to scream. I heard myself. I said, look.
I'm sure you have looked at them. Can I step into that business?
500. And she went ahead and brought it out from the cabin. And she was showing the other lady. She said, oh, where did you buy this? I mean, I'm saying this. It's Brazilian hair. You mean you left your country? For me, in my heart, I was asking, you left your country to go and buy Brazilian hair?
No, you could buy Nigerian one.
I mean, people bred hairs here, and we want to fly for such. I mean, we're talking about goods, but we're also looking at services. These are services you are denying our local people. Look at what is happening in Cross River now. Ayade, the state governor, is helping, fixing 1, 2, 3 industries. Whether in agriculture or in, the textile
and
all of that. Yeah. And some governors are just quiet. Some people are busy criticizing the guy. But they don't know that this industrialization, the road to industrialization starts that way. And I think we need to do a rethink.
So is it a problem of we trying to start small that is actually the issue? Or what exactly is the problem with it?
It is the issue of people looking beyond who they are, copying and overcopying, and then eventually selling themselves to, foreign gods.
So what does that do to us as a country and to our economy?
It destroys the economy. Let me give you one point. When the SIP came up by the Office of the Vice President, I wrote a memo from Nance and I said, look, whoever is going to pick up any money from government must be certified by the agency to be dealing solely on Nigeria goods. If you are collecting money from government or collecting money from any of the commercial banks, in fact, the CBN should have it as a policy that if you're collecting money, you want to do trade, please start from our own trade. Without that, I mean, if you want to get money from from CBN or from commercial banks, let it be on that 2-digit interest. But once it is meant for instance, you want to buy and sell local made goods, rice, cassava. I mean, local made. You want to patronize local garments, shoes, and all of that. Please let it be single-digit interest, and that's the way we can promote the economy.
Certainly. In furtherance to this promotion, for you, what do we need to do differently? Nigerians also have complained about packaging, branding, and the way these goods are presented. How should we do this to work on our own products, at least that will make it attractive for patronage?
Like you said, it's the branding of the goods and services. Like it talked about hair, everything, other. We know that we women, we like Brazilian hair, Peruvian
No, I
hair.
don't.
You don't like
No,
it? But we like all these attachments that we attach to our hair now, like all this Ghana weaving, all this braid. They are new style now in vogue that people do, and they are nice. So if they put in more interest, like doing of wig now is in vogue. Like someone that doesn't want to put on, he'll sit down for a long time, can wear a wig of a particular hair he or she wants and put it on. It will make people to be more encouraged. Okay, I don't want to buy Brazilian hair. Let me buy the one they made here in Nigeria.
So packaging is
then
key.
branding of the, and some people they brand, they brand on online branding, and when you see the goods, when they bring it to you, it will be something different from what you see on the line, on the internet. So it's discouraged most people at times that this is what I saw, this is what they brought to me. So I've seen some people that got affected that has a complaint about that.
And were those made in Nigeria good?
Made in Nigeria good. So it's when they see it, they say, no, this is not what I asked for.
So perhaps maybe we should look into areas of monitoring and evaluating some of this one from such people who are putting up this policy as well. Briefly.
Perhaps sensitization can also, cue these people back to lane. And I think a lot of people in the manufacturing side, especially small-scale manufacturers, have felt that if they don't write made in Italy, made in Spain, made in China, they will not patronize them. But I think it's very wrong. For some of us who are still producing and writing made in Nigeria, I think we are bracing the odds and we're breaking evens. Better be a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian by birth, and I should be proud of it. This second-hand boutique, and then bend down boutique, and boutique, and you destroy the economy. It doesn't help anybody. It does not. We should be original. I should not condemn myself to a second-class, third-class citizen by buying what somebody has bought and rebought. Come on.
Kanu Kowa, President, National Association of Nigerian Traders, thank you very much for your insights on today's topic that is made in Nigeria goods. I'd also like to appreciate you, Olubukola George. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And let's hope we've actually gladdened someone's heart today to follow the heart and make Nigerian products of great quality and also branded to go to the international scene. Don't say that it just has to be consumed here. We also can take them out to the world. Okay, that's Nigeria Today for today. Thank you for watching. The program returns tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening. My name is Blessing Abu. You can actually watch this edition online at www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 hours. See you again.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Welcome to Nigeria.
Good morning. Welcome to the news at 10 on the network service of the NTA. I am Claire Adilabu Abdul Razak. Thank you for joining us.
And I am Dennis Adigunloye. First, the headlines.
President Muhammadu Buhari addresses Russia-Africa summit, underscores need for new energy and driving trade technology.
Must go beyond trade and business to address our infrastructure deficit, conflicts and terrorism, climate change, and human trafficking.
To support